Just a few weeks ago, we were sitting there all excited, getting ready to watch the lighting of the Christmas tree, and all at once, in our Facebook feeds, here comes Jess Trask.
Hey friends, so I am in Washington, D.C. For a really cool opportunity, and every time I talk about it, I start crying because I can't believe this is my life. But every year, the United States Capitol chooses a state to get their Christmas tree from. And this year, for the first time ever, it's from Nevada, so it's a big deal. And they thought that since the tree was coming from Nevada, that the dinner that is served from the Christmas tree lighting is also from Nevada. And they asked us if we would send Perigo Beef to the Capitol to be served at dinner. And I said yes, of course, we're so honored. So we are here in DC eating Perigo Beef tomorrow night, and I can't believe it, and it's incredible, and we're so honored and grateful and all the things. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop this and we're not gonna cry.
Yeah, I can't blame her at all. And Jess Trask is with us this morning. That had to have been a crazy feeling to realize that you're going to get to go to the Capitol and serve the product of your ranch.
Yeah, it was pretty unbelievable. I still tear up every time I think about it.
Oh,
I just couldn't believe that it was happening, you know, and it was so overwhelming when we landed in D.C. and we're driving to the hotel, and then we look out the window, we see the Capitol. I was like, oh my gosh, and it just hit me all at once. And anyway, so I thought I should film this right now because it's genuine, and I should put it out there for the world to see. And it got a really nice response, which was really nice. But yeah, we had a great time going back there.
And we forwarded the story on from here. We forwarded it up to Rick Haynes up the Independent Ag Network. We forwarded it over to our friends over at the All Ag Network, and to your good friends up at the Western Ag Network. But we let everybody know about it because
well, thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate that.
We were proud of it. Just the fact that Elko County is the one that's recognized. They're the ones who are recognized as the beef capital of Nevada, and yet here in White Pine County, your beef, Perigo Beef, gets served at the nation's capital.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, but it's all thanks to the Nevada Department of Ag. They're the ones who reached out to me, and they're the ones who coordinated this huge effort to get as many producers of vegetables, and they had bourbon there from Nevada, and they had our beef there. So it was all thanks to the Nevada Department of Ag. I can't thank them enough for making the effort, because I know it's a lot to have everyone ship all their stuff to a caterer across the country and get it all set up, but it was really, really nice of them.
Yeah, it's really a neat thing, and you've made us very proud. You really have made us proud here.
Thank you.
You probably don't know this. I am from Kansas, and I just got back there from my 50th this last summer, and went down to the farm and got to eat some Kansas beef. And they gave me some of that wonderful summer sausage, the leftovers, and they sent me 3 or 4 sticks of that. And I don't know if you've heard our currently running commentary, but we make it clear: a country that cannot provide and has to depend on importing beef and importing agriculture and food from outside the nation is not a nation that can take care of itself. And you and I share this very well. We support the president's intentions to try to, make everything local, but bringing in Argentinian beef, I think, we can understand that they're having a hard time down there, but why take it out on our farmers? Why take it up on our ranchers? That's not what we need to do.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty complex issue, right, whenever you talk about importing beef and whatnot, but overall in 2025, what we've over and over and over is that there's been a rise in consumers wanting to eat beef. I mean, it's astronomical, and not only do they want to eat beef, but the number one concern of consumers is where their food comes from. So they're starting to care more and more about that than they ever have before. So I know that as a nation, we do not produce enough beef for our own consumers. We need to import, but I think what's more important is, okay, if we're going to import some beef, then let's get some mandatory country of origin labeling going.
Absolutely.
So that consumers, when they go to the grocery store, they can see, hey, this is not from the U.S., this is from the U.S. for price points, and then they can make the choice, But I think it's important to be transparent to consumers on that front.
And cool has been an issue since 1992, since we started dealing with NAFTA and GATT. And it is something that we just cannot get pushed through Congress. And it is... Go ahead.
While I was in D.C., I actually had the opportunity to meet with both Nevada senators, and the number one thing I talked about with them was getting this passed. And they said it was brought back to a Senate hearing from a senator in the Midwest, and so they are both in agreement that that's what they want to do, and so it's looking positive, and they think it's going to be a bipartisan issue. So I'm hoping in 2026 we see some movement on that.
Country of origin labeling is the most important thing. We insist on having all of this nutritional items on all of our food, and yet we can't get country of origin labeling straight.
Right. Well, it keeps changing under each president, and so then it became where, okay, we're going to put the label on as long as it was processed in the U.S. Well, that's not completely transparent because most consumers, they don't know the difference, if it was processed here or raised here. So I think just adding that extra little step to make sure it's showing not only was this born in the U.S., it was processed here, or vice versa. So I'm optimistic that 2026 will see some movement on that.
We hope we do. That definitely has to be done. Farm to table has become such a big buzzword. But I tell people this, and they don't always believe me, that there is a difference between the cut of beef you get from the store and the cut of beef you get that is farm to table. People don't get that. Why?
I think it's just, there's less than 2% of people in America are in an ag-related field, whether that be just transporting, food or, working in a processing plant. Ag it's so all-encompassing. And so if you think about that, less than 2% of Americans, that means, very, very, very few people truly understand where the food comes from, truly understands how it was raised, truly understand what goes into different cuts of beef. I try to always teach people, dairy cows and beef cows are so different. People think a cow is a cow is a cow. So I just think, people don't know what they don't know, and it's our job to kind of inform them as much as possible. But I really like to see how much people have started to care in the last few years. It's really making a difference, and I don't know if that's because of COVID. I don't know if that's because of social media. I'm not sure what caused that change, but it is exciting that more people are wanting to know, what goes in their food and what they're feeding their family at night. It matters. So,
real quick, Jess, we're just about out of time. Give us the website. Yeah,
so our website is www.perigohaycattle.com. That's PerigoHaycattle.com.